Resident Evil from 2002 is an interesting tale, to say the least. It's very odd. Paul W. S. Anderson definitely took some liberties with the original source and didn't really follow what Capcom had originally listed out for the Resident Evil franchise. And you can definitely see that he took some pages from it, but also didn't. It's so fucking weird. Honestly, the film is absolutely fucking weird as shit. And this is probably weird as shit too, so I'm gonna take this off. That's better. Yeah, so Resident Evil is it's very 2002. You can tell that it's very a 2002 film throughout the whole entire thing. It is so fucking bizarre, but also it has like this sense of charm to it. Like, I get why it made money at the box office. Like, I understand why it made money at the box office, but it's got this charm to it. It's definitely it's hard to like encapsulate what it feels like, because it feels like a generic action film, but then at some points it doesn't, and then I'm confused, and then I'm not confused, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna use this weird like device in this to start the movie that will lead into something else, but like it's an odd addition to the source material when it didn't need to be. Like, the Red Queen exists in this film, and it's this childlike AI that tried to like contain everything, but also, why do you need that when like that's just kind of Umbrella's whole thing, when Umbrella is kind of just a secret organization that has everything already contained in itself. And I do like that they use Umbrella as like the big bad guy in the whole thing. Like, use a UBCS stand-in. I don't know if that's what they're called in the movie. But they use that, and they use a lot more like Umbrella lore, and I really appreciate it. I prefer the Umbrella lore overall what's in Resident Evil, just because I like the idea of an evil corporation doing these heinous crimes underneath everyone's nose. I know that's weird to have that fascination with it. I just like the idea of it. But I like that they use that as like kind of the plot point. Umbrella is like the big bad guy of this film, and in the end it's not even like really resolved, like the Umbrella situation, even though that's what the whole plot is, them trying to take down Umbrella before they get their minds wiped. It's weird. I don't even like know who their employer is. It's such an odd situation because they don't give you anything to be this like self-contained story. Like, there's movies nowadays that ask for sequels, that they set up for sequels, and that's like the main priority is to get a sequel before this main film is, the first film is actually a good film. And I didn't really expect that from a 2002 film, but that's what happened. Like, I know that you can't tell the whole Resident Evil story in one movie, but you can tell at least a story that has a complete thing. Like, Umbrella can be destroyed. Like, in Resident Evil 2, it's destroyed. Not really, but it's destroyed. Like, we think it's destroyed. In the future games, they bring it back, like a recurring bad guy. And same thing with Resident Evil 3. It's that idea of that Umbrella just rises again. And I think that's better in the games. And here, it's never destroyed. It's just this hive. I don't know what they call it, the hive instead of just nest. Because, again, I haven't played the original like trilogy in its original form because I don't like how the playstyle is. But I believe Nest is still in those games, so I don't know why they just want to call it Nest. It's a very generic action movie, though. It's generic zombie, I should say. It's very action heavy, less horror related, and I think the reason why it's less horror is because I don't really care for the characters besides Michelle Rodriguez's character. Mila Jankovic, I think that's her name, plays the main character Alice, who's dressed like Ada Wong, because for some reason that's what they went with instead of, you know, just using Ada Wong. They just made a whole new character. Don't know why. But like, I don't like, that's the only person I care about. I think I could care about that because she has this kind of arc around the story. While she's like this big muscle, she has a lot of like feeling, and she's the one who's suffering the most throughout the film, rather than Mila Jankovic, which I think if you're gonna have a main girl, have her have most of the suffering. But, you know, in the end, it makes sense. In the end, I quite like the final train sequence, where I feel very Resident Evil 3 vibes. That's the thing about this movie. It captures vibes from Resident Evil 2 and 3, and even 1 a little bit, to like a certain extent. It's never like happy with like going fully into let's adapt 2, let's adapt 3, let's do. It's never happy doing that, but it's gonna take bits and pieces from it and make a new film out of it. And it comes to mild success. Like, it's an okay film. It's a good action film. It's kind of like it's a campy, like, fun, like, date film, I guess. Like, that's the best way I can, like, encapsulate what it is. And it's not, like, it's not a bad film. I enjoyed my time with it. It's not memorable. And that's why I'm like kind of confused why it got why it eventually did get sequels besides the success it made in the box office. And that's the only thing I can tell from it is that the success from the box office led into being made into more films. I think 6 now with this original series, and then the new one that came out like a few years ago. It's such an okay film. Like I don't know why Capcom let them just like not adapt a game unless they just wanted this to be completely like different and not the same, just because, you know, it is what it is. I wanted to like it more. I did, because it's kind of like this classic action film that people talk about quite often, actually, now that I think about it. Never the sequels. Never the sequels. It doesn't feel very Resident Evil. Resident Evil had this unique survival horror experience in the games, and while they didn't adapt the games one for one, it never felt like Resident Evil. It just felt like zombies eventually, and I think that's mostly ruined because like the beginning, like 20-30 minutes isn't a zombie film. It's an AI escape film. It's really weird. I don't know why it is, but it is. But like, it just is. I don't get it. And I feel like there was such an easy way to make this such a like the games, or like connect them to the games in a way. Like you could have made Alice Jill Valentine. She looks like her to a certain point. And again, I don't believe that you didn't have to look at the character to be the character. I think they would just embody the character. I think Mila Jovovich is talented enough to fill that role of becoming a different character in Jill Valentine. Or, you know, you dressed her up like Ada Wong, just get Ada Wong. I would prefer age representation. I know Ada Wong comes in later movies, which I think is really odd. Alice dresses like Ada Wong in this movie. That's one big point. Like, I'm just like, why is she dressed like Ada Wong? And in the end of the movie, it leads into the Raccoon City, you know, disaster, which means, okay, that leads into more movies. More game, like, leads into the games, because that's the same thing the Raccoon City is 2 and 3, and like, but the Hive's already destroyed. But is that the Nest? Is that a different thing? Is the Nest and the Hive different things? I have so many questions. I'm wanting to watch the other movies. I'm going to watch the other movies for this channel, just so I can get like an idea of what the fuck is going on, because I'm left with more questions than answers in that movie, and I don't like it. I like it being answered because the games offer those questions, and I think that's the problem I'm having with this movie. Is while it's generic enough and it fills itself within the Resident Evil universe, it does have the same events and same, you know, ideas of Resident Evil. It doesn't like go off the fucking deep end and just change everything. It just asks more questions because of the games that do exist. Because technically this takes place before the Raccoon City disaster, and it's so fucking odd. This movie is 2 separate movies that are pushing the same thing, that have a game connected to them, and it's such a jumbled mess of a generic movie, and I don't understand how we had 5 more movies after this off the same character. It's just so confusing. I'm genuinely so excited to watch. I think Apocalypse is next, just so I can understand where the fuck this goes with it. If it still follows Resident Evil lore, if it just says, you know what, us putting the lore in and asking more questions or offering more questions be answered, fuck that. Let's just, you know, make this a whole new thing. I don't know. I genuinely do not know, and I'm very excited to figure it out. But let me know what you guys think about Resident Evil from 2002. If you find it a charming, generic film, then you know, I had fun with it. I had fun with it. I just have more questions to be answered because I just don't know what the fuck to make of it without the context of the other films, but with the context of the games, you know? But let me know what you guys thought about it. Remember to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next episode of whatever the fuck I decide to do. I'm so confused.